After traveling the world capturing lions and tigers on film, it was this hand-built photo bar that brought his photos to life while creating a wild place to entertain his guests.
Hi, I'm Hal Brindley from Charlottesville, Virginia. I traveled the world as a wildlife photographer, and I brought the world back with me and put it under glass. Come look what I did. I had this dream where I wanted to do something artistic and do a lot of traveling and something to do with animals, and so I thought, hey, I'll be a wildlife photographer. I decided it was time to focus the business end of my photography and thought it would be nice to have a gallery. Then I decided, galleries don't make any money, and that's when I came up with the idea of putting a wine bar in it. But in the state of Virginia, you have to be a restaurant as well to be a bar, so then it became a bar/restaurant/gallery. All I have to do now is finish the kitchen and bathrooms. How's it look so far? When I first bought the building, the first step was pulling out a lot of the old woodwork that was in there. There was a wainscoting along the walls that was old and decrepit. Pulled all that out. I basically gutted the whole space. Then I noticed there was a lot of problem with the brickwork. The building is over 100 years old. This mortar is real old and sandy. It's coming out in a lot of places between the bricks, so I had to do a lot of repair work on that, a lot of tuck pointing. So after I got the brickwork done inside, I started working on the ceiling. There was an old drywall ceiling in there. With my wire brush and my dust mask on and my goggles, doing this all day long. I wanted to put in a wood floor, so what I did was I spaced 2x4s laid flat and put little shims underneath them at varying heights to get every piece of wood perfectly level. This floor kind of reminds me of a tortoise. You know what else it has in common with a tortoise? It's over 100 years old. As a wildlife photographer, lighting is everything, whether it be sunlight in the eye of a lion or lighting over my bar. I installed the track lighting up above to light the photos and decided I wanted some ambient lighting from beneath. I built the baseboard out a few inches from the wall and put this inexpensive rope lighting behind it to create the glow from underneath. The bar is definitely the focal point of the gallery space. It's sort of my gimmick, people come in and when they see it they go, wow, look at this, come here, look at this. Under my glass in the bar I have 1,980 slides. It seemed sort of obvious to me when I was first designing the bar because I had spent endless hours crouched over my light table looking at slides. The real trick was designing the top. I wanted it to be as shallow as possible and still be able to hold the light fixtures inside. The first thing I did was cut out the plywood to the right size for the base of the box, put it on top, then built a 1x4 frame that went on top of that. In the inside of the box I painted white so it would be more reflective. I had to put in the light fixtures themselves, which were just standard fluorescent fixtures with 2 bulbs in it that I bought at a home improvement store. The next step, I used the white acrylic to disperse the light evenly. At that point, I was ready to put a stain on it. After I had the bar all looking pretty, phase 2 was to lay out the slides on top. I had 2,000 slides all labeled and ready to go and began spacing them out on the bar. It took me probably a full day to get everything in position the way I wanted it. When I first threw the switch, it was dazzling. I spent 10 solid minutes just staring at it. It really was mesmerizing. I wanted it to be cozy and kind of hip and cool all at the same time. I decided I needed some source of heat in there before I got the central heat and air put in. I decided to go with a gas fireplace. It was just an exposed gas fireplace, so I needed a mantle. I ran into the backyard and grabbed these old pieces of 2x6 lumber and just made a real quick mantle and put the old threshold from a door I tore out of the back on top of it. And I've left it that way ever since. Back when I started shooting, I was shooting lots and lots of slide film. About 2.5 years ago, digital started coming around. And as soon as I started shooting digital, I never shot another slide again. The bar is kind of a testimony to a past era of photography that's just now disappearing. One of the things that's really cool about the bar is that people don't need a magnifying glass to see animals on it, because I chose slides that had a real large subject matter in it. After I glued the slides, I was ready to put the plate glass on. Once everything was in place, I put a clear silicone caulk underneath so that it would be Altogether, I spent about 2.5 months building this bar. The cost, I would guess, about $3,000. I think it looks beautiful. It's really great having people in there hang out with me and to have a look at my artwork. It's really, really satisfying. I'm proud of both the space and my work in there.